What's up, y'all? Welcome to Deep Thought. Life genius is what matters. Life genius is what matters. I'm gonna tell you what. When you're going through life, when you're going through life, people, you get some people who say, "Well, I got a high IQ score on here." Or stuff. Let me use that for an example, because you get some people, or they try to like use it against another race or people, or try to talk about how smart they are. I got that great score. Okay, how's your life? How's your life? What good is that? What good is the score? What good is being able to read at a high level, but you have an ordinary life? You struggling. What good is it? Seriously. Now, I'm calling it life genius. Some other people might call it just street smart. Some people might call it just a PhD in common sense. But that's still genius, though. I want y'all to think about that. Like, what good is any of anything, even all the knowledge you got in school and everything, but you're struggling in life? You're not making money the way you want to make it. You might not be making money at all. I've seen so much about some guys. Like I saw a couple decades ago. This guy had an extremely high IQ, but he's working cleaning stuff. I was like, okay, is it really an IQ or information? Because think about it, intelligence is really to solve problems, and a big problem. And well, I ain't gonna say it can be a problem, but it's just everyday life. How you gonna make money? What are you doing to make money? That's why, and I heard this from a law school professor. They would talk about law students, right? They would say all the A students will become professors. Well, they got the knowledge and stuff. All the B students will become judges, and all the C students will make all the money. That's because they're bringing in more than just whatever the knowledge is, because part of knowledge is, okay, how you going to handle every situation? There's a lot of people who go through different situations and they do the same thing over and over and over again. How smart can they be? Or how many times have you met somebody and they say, well, I got a high IQ, but they want a girlfriend, they don't got one. Or they in a penny ante job. Or they keep making dumb mistakes. Like I remember when I was working at when I was working retail. There were a couple times I literally had people who were certifiably intelligent. One was a college professor. The stuff she kept doing, she ended up getting fired. She getting fired, and then one day I saw her working at a dollar store. But she was a college professor. I mean, this is verified. College professor, but this is where she's at. And another guy was a literal rocket science, and I had to like correct him. I said, dude, he doing all this stuff. I said, dude, I told you to do it this way. He making it all hard on himself. So yeah, that's great that they had the credentials and everything. That's great. Hey, that's great. But you still gotta live the rest of your life. Like a lot of credentials, I mean, the best they can do, honestly, is really get you on a job. Certain jobs. And let's be real. How many people who are highly intelligent, they could write a computer program, all of that, been laid off. There's been a lot of high-end people been laid off. So what position they in now? And if you got a bunch of businesses laying off somebody at a certain level, that means you might not get the job there. You might have to do something else. You're gonna have to have the intelligence to do something else. Because what about the rest of your life? Can you switch up? Can you switch up? Like I use myself for an example. Yes, I've worked retail despite my educational background, but it was part of something else. It was really just to keep steady money coming in while I was doing my business, because ultimately my business was selling books. That's retail. And then I learned a lot. Even to this day, I actually learned a lot, because part of intelligence is, can you switch up? Can you be put in another position? What else can you do? What other skills do you have? It's like, it was funny. Like I was watching this thing on Netflix with Michelle Yeoh, the brother's son. And, because their last name was S-U-N, son. And, they were part of the, Chinese triads. Well, one was like studying to be a doctor. But it was interesting because you had the oldest son. He was a stone cold killer, a known killer, well-known killer, soldier. But he could bake though. But that's part of intelligence though. If you leave something, if you leave one profession, you have the intelligence, you have the skill level to get something else, to do something else. But that's important though. How many skills do you have? That's part of intelligence. What skills do you have to work? Like if I decide I don't want to do this, I can, trust me, there's a ton of jobs I can do easily and stuff. And that's the important thing. Even stuff I ain't go to school for or whatever. Because that's it. It's like, what's the issue, what I'm trying to solve? It's a simple thing. I'm trying to eat well, sleep well, Got to go to the doctor a bit more now, while I'm like healing from the stroke. So, but I had the ability to do so no matter what, how to keep going. That's very important. That's life genius. Like people need to ask themselves, like you get some people, they'll try to say, well, I know this. No, that's knowledge. That don't mean you're smart. Okay, how you applying it to solve your problem? See, people say knowledge is power, but what I always say, the application of knowledge is power. And that's smart. If you got that information, okay, how you going to apply it? That's genius in itself. How do you apply this particular situation to solve this problem? In fact, there's a lot of stuff out there, some political stuff, cultural stuff. I be looking at it and I ain't gonna lie, I'm just being real. I ain't trying to be conceited or anything. I'm just being real with it. I was like, oh, that's easy to solve. And sometimes solving stuff is easy, Sometimes solving stuff is easy. And that's what matters. Okay, what will actually solve this problem? What will solve this problem? Why is this problem happening? Okay, let me look at it. Okay, this is what we need to do to solve it. And a lot of times people aren't. I'm gonna be real. I listen to them and I'm like, okay, what you're saying, okay, fine. You talking about the problem and everything, and you know the history, okay. What you gonna do about it? See, the person who just got information and think they're smart, they'll just complain about it and they'll share the information. Yeah, I know all of this. Okay. How you gonna solve the issue? That's what counts. How you gonna solve that issue? It could be something major, it could be something small. Like when I see people, they struggling in life, they struggling in everything, okay. What are they doing? Like you can have somebody relationship wise. You get some people who, you might say, well, nah, they don't know anything, they this or that. Yeah, they in a relationship. You got people paying to be in relationships, get something, yet you get somebody who don't have an educational background, might not have an IQ score, but they figured out how to be in a relationship. That's the real intelligence. The real intelligence, the real genius is how you solve the problems going through life. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for today. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.